Welcome back, dear viewers, and now we are joined over the phone by Dr. Hanady Ragaii, Organization Development Consultant. Good afternoon, Dr. Hanady.
Good afternoon, dear.
So, Dr. Hanady, can you tell us more about the role of Egyptian women as a teacher, as a mother, in raising awareness about the importance of protecting the nation and supporting it in times of wars and crises?
Okay, let me say that women are the backbone of Egyptian families and communities.
Yes.
So they provide care, support, and nurturing to their families, and are essential to develop of children.
Yes.
So the women also play a significant role in a community building and often take on leadership role in the community organization. So once a woman has this significant role, they are trying to build new generations with a proper knowledge about the nations, and also they are playing a critical role in preventing the conflict and building the peace and helping countries recover during, of course, the crisis, and even if there is any kind of rumors, by building a normal and a proper psychologically generation. So it's very important for them. So if she is a teacher, she has to understand that she is playing two roles. The first role is, I'm a teacher, I'm starting to teach new generations in the school, for example. And also she's a mother. She's playing another role in home to start providing her kids with the proper knowledge about the nation and how to be, engaged to these nations and love the nation.
Dr. Hanady, 51 years on, and October War remains a milestone in the history of the Middle East and still inspiring new Egyptian and other Arab generations. Can you shed light on the role of Egyptian women at that time?
Okay, while we are celebrating October month, and it's very critical in our country, as the 6th of October, women have a brave role in our our society and our history. In 1973, they just delivered their son during the war, of course, as we all know. And that means she's a very, the nation part and her morale and her belief is very high. That's why you can find that most of the mothers with our soldiers or the wives, they are paying a lot from their stability in the families by losing these people in the war. So we can say that they are almost like a soldiers, but they are in back. Not they are having the same role with our soldiers, but they have a critical, role in home, raising kids, caring about the families while we are, having the war procedures. Let's say it like that. Yes.
And how does this war and victory convey a message of pride to every mother who sacrificed her son for this country?
Actually, they are sacrificing and courage the role, I mean now, by they have a proper, the financial installations. They have, this is an issue, they are facing this, and also they have a critical and sacrificing without having her partner, for example, if they are losing the partner during the war, and also to be an independent woman and facing all the life conditions. I think this is a very critical role for her. She's playing the two roles here. She's playing the mother role and the father role once she loses her husband, for example, or her son. So this sacrifice comes from the religious part in our society. We do believe in this, and that's why they feel strong and they keep on the life. And after she losing, for example, I have a lot of cases, we face it in our life, lots of ladies who's losing her husbands in the war. You're gonna find her children They are also in the Egyptian soldiers, and she can lose them, by the way. And this comes from her values and beliefs that what she is doing, it's very appreciated from everyone, and first of all from God. And this comes from our nature, by the way.
And as you are an organization development consultant, how do you see the role of Egyptian women in the development process and in achieving Agenda 2030?
Okay, this comes as very important because our President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi give a very high attention for the women empowerment. And by the way, the woman is having an amazing performance in this role. Either she is a minister or she is an employee in our governmental sectors or the private sectors. They are working in a very proper way, and I think the output for these organizations, which is handling by the woman, most of them, they are very successful because by the nature, the woman, she is multitask and she can do a lot of role in the same time. So she can managing the role as she is a wife and mother, and also she has her own responsibilities in the organization. From my experience that I faced it during my specialized work in organization development, I can find maybe we can mention that more than 80% of the women, they are very successful ladies, because as I mentioned, we are multitask and we can do it. And we can mention it also as the woman, she believes in challenge. So we can go to the challenge to achieve our dreams. And this dream, it is, we can mention that mixed with another dream to have a proper kid, and to have their own dream by having a high level in the organization. So that's why most of the companies that I'm working with, the succeed part is putting the woman in a leadership position.
So, Dr. Hanady, also, if we talk about the country or the government strategy to empower Egyptian women, giving them more space to be part of decision-making process, how do you evaluate this?
I do evaluate this because if we are talking about the strategy for the Vision 2030, the women, they can, as we mentioned, we are a multitask, okay, but we have a proper objective that we are going to reach this objective. So by drawing this objective or the roadmap for her life, they are very successful, okay, and they know how to, the women, how to build the community that she is working with it by putting her objectives, which is breakdown from her vision in the life. That's why most of nations, they are, or the organizations, by the way, they are working with, it's very successful because we are very organized and multitasking. This is what we can, mention it. And we are looking always that we can do it, because the previous mindset that the only men, they can succeed in most of the jobs and something like that. No, we are successful in all type of work by these days.
Also, Dr. Hanady, if we talk about the women who live in rural areas, there are also many initiatives that target those women, and they all aim at improving skills of women and providing them with more with projects and be part of small and medium enterprises process. How do you see this?
Okay, I see this, I think it is starting with we had a pandemic of COVID-19.
Yes.
Because during the pandemic of COVID-19, I mean, all the world, we're facing a big pandemic, but which has surprised me that the Egyptian women, they are facing this pandemic with starting their projects, as you mentioned, the small and medium enterprise. And even if they lose their jobs or their husbands losing their jobs, they started their own business using a social media to, to make hair advertising about this business. By, sometimes they are working about cooking the Egyptian food. They know how to make some architectural issues. So that means during these crises, the Egyptian women, they convince all over the world that we are facing this pandemic during the COVID-19 pandemic. After this pandemic disappeared from our world, the Egyptian women start to continue their projects, and most of them become very famous, by the way, in our social media. So that means this woman, she is literally a proper partner for her husband by finding out a solution about this crisis that the Egyptian family is facing. All I mean that the woman provides and insists to tell all over the world that we can do it. Doesn't mean that we are a woman, so we are weak or we don't know. By the way, also, during this pandemic, the Egyptian ladies starting to study, for example, and having higher degrees by using, the technological ways like Zoom, Teams, and something like that to continue the education. I guess this is what makes us very strong, and we are just a backbone for this society.
So also, Doctor, how do you see the challenges that still face Egyptian women nowadays, and we still need to work on them?
Actually, the biggest challenges is some of the old cultures and ethics that we still believe in, especially in, we can say it in Upper Egypt, not very much in Cairo or the main governmental areas, Cairo, Alexandria, something like that. Still in the Egyptian culture that the lady has to stay home, she doesn't do just to raise the kids, which is very, very main objective in her life also. We cannot ignore it at all. But I think some of the people still facing and, resist to let the woman being in, let's say in these our lives. So the big challenge is the Egyptian culture, our culture in some places, which is not helping the ladies to take a step forward. We need to work more on this by using the proper channels like, the social media, TVs, some awareness sessions in clubs and the schools. It will be much better, I think.
Finally, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Hanady Ragaii, Organization Development Consultant. Thank you for being with us. Dear viewers, short break and we'll be back, so stay tuned.